Minneapolis on paper. This is what the Philadelphia Eagles face in the Super Bowl on Sunday: the best coach, the best quarterback, and the best front office of the 21st century. Other than that, the rest is easy. If you buy all in on that one, you had better take another look at the underdogs from Philly. This ain't as easy as it looks for Bill Belichick's evil empire. Yes, the Patriots are in the record 10th Super Bowl, the 8th with the twin wizards of Belichick and Tom Brady, the 100-yard alchemists whose achievements are the key ingredients in what has become the New England mystique. The aura that surrounds the Patriots has beaten teams that could have won and should have won but kept looking over their shoulders and listening for the other shoe to drop. Even when desperation should set in, the Pats somehow make the clock their ally. Super Bowl picks for references: check the second-half play-by-play against the Atlanta Falcons, who blew a 25-point second-half lead in last year's Super Bowl. And don't forget that throughout the history of all Philadelphia franchises, other teams have all too often forced Philly teams to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It has been a malaise that is almost epidemic in the shadow of the Liberty Bell. But take heart, sons and daughters of Cheese Steak City. These are definitely not your father's Eagles, or as they are called in South Philly, the Eagles. The 201,718 Eagles have suffered every disaster imaginable. Starting with the loss of the hottest quarterback in the league at the time, Carson Wentz, to the other injuries throughout the roster to worrisome play at the regular season's end, they have seen it all as irritating speed bumps rather than crippling disasters. Their talent and attitude are the embodiment of why emotional teams can win football games people think they can't. Bill Parcells, who gave us the Bill Belichick in training, knows how good these Pats are and how good the coach is. He pointed out that there are critical times when Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is actually halfway on his back by the time he releases the ball. Super Bowl prop bets and more. He's not fast, but he has quick feet and he takes those 2 steps between rushes to step up in the pocket and still unload the ball with accuracy, Parcells said. Still, Parcells doesn't sell Philly cheap, especially when it comes to their best weapon, the front four. He dropped a conversational nugget from which the frostbitten members of the Philly Marching and Chowder Society can take heart. We were discussing the ferocious Eagles' defensive front line when I said, there are 4 guys who are a hell of a threat to Brady. Wrong, he said. They don't rush 4. They rush 8. How can that be? They can and do because they are 8 deep up front, he said. Nobody else is, and they alternate 4 at a time. Nobody else can do that. That's how they beat down offensive lines. 4 quarters is a long time for them when the alternating front is rested by rotation. The Eagles have been beating them down. The Eagles can also run the ball very effectively. If Nick Foles, who replaced Wentz, can make a living with play action after those runners are established, Philly can fool the world. You can make the case that over time the Eagles' defensive strength appears to be the same strength that beat the Patriots down in 2 Super Bowl losses. It requires repeated execution, repeated pressure on Brady. As an overlooked bonus, the Eagles are probably better on both lines than New England. Philly's defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, backs up what Parcells said. Schwartz compares it to a baseball team having a lot of relief pitchers who throw in the mid-90s. You just bring one after the other. And he has other tools. The Eagles have the league's No. 5 defense. Overall, they are efficient against the pass 7th and the run 3rd. If Schwartz's defensive strategy seems familiar, it should. You may recall that a ferocious pass rush is exactly how the Giants beat Brady in 2 Super Bowls. Because the Eagles have even more depth up front than the Giants did, they have a real shot. It will be far from easy, but I see Philly stealing this one, especially with the points. And if they do, for as long as they have waited, with their kind of fans, you just might see another crack in the Liberty Bell. Jerry Eisenberg is one of 2 newspaper columnists to cover every Super Bowl. He is columnist emeritus for the Star-Ledger. Super Bowl 52 Eagles vs. Patriots preview and predictions.